Please stand for the national anthem. Please be seated. I'd like to call upon Khalid Al-Mazuri to come and recite the Holy Quran for us.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الذين يتلون كتاب الله وأقاموا الصلاة وأنفقوا مما رزقناهم سرا وعلانية يرجون تجارة لن تبور ليوفيهم أجورهم ويزيدهم من فضله إنه غفور شكور. والذي أوحينا إليك من الكتاب هو الحق مصدقا لما بين يديه إن الله بعباده لخبير بصير. ثم أورثنا الكتاب الذين اصطفينا من عبادنا فمنهم ظالم لنفسه ومنهم مقتصد ومنهم سابق بالخيرات بإذن الله ذلك هو الفضل الكبير. جنات عدن يدخلونها يحلون فيها من أساور من ذهب ولؤلؤا ولباسهم فيها حرير. وقالوا الحمد لله الذي أذهب عنا الحزن إن ربنا لغفور شكور. الذي أحلنا دار المقامة من فضله لا يمسنا فيها نصب ولا يمسنا فيها لغوب. صدق الله العظيم.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Matt, and I'm the principal of middle school and high school. I'm also going to be your master of ceremony for tonight's graduation. So, are we happy to be here? Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Are we happy to be here? Yeah, too right we are. What an absolute pleasure it is to have so many guests of honor, so many parents, so many friends, so many students, and so many staff members joining us here tonight at this graduation ceremony. For so long, we were unsure that this night would even take place. So now that we find ourselves here, we are both excited. We are excited, right? Oh, we are excited, right? And very proud of all our graduates here on stage. We'd like to take this opportunity to mention some very important people from behind the scenes who've worked tirelessly to bring about tonight's celebration. So please give a huge round of applause for the wonderful Miss Suha, Miss Hiba, Miss Dana, Miss Amelia, and Miss Jihan. Thank you, ladies, for all your efforts in making this ceremony take place tonight. We're also deeply grateful to our colleagues at BBS for their support in bringing this wonderful event together. The last few months have certainly been challenging for us as a school, as a country, and as a region. But together we have made it to this moment, a moment of celebration, achievement, and hope. In reflecting on grade 12, I was reminded of my first meeting with some, not all, of our current senior year. In March 2023, before actually officially taking up my position in August of that same year, I was fortunate to be able to visit the school, including observing the teaching and learning taking place in the classrooms. I vividly remember walking into one particular class where the teacher was struggling heroically to maintain focus on the lesson, while the male students in particular, how do we put this? Let's just say, were not fully engaged with the learning taking place. I also remember thinking at the time to myself, don't worry, Matt, this must be a grade 12 class. I mean, they're big lads, they've got some facial hair, they will have left by the time I arrive. 3 years later, I present to you the class of 2026. Now, to be fair, our cohort has changed a great deal in the intervening 3 years, both in members and in maturity. And over that time, I've had the privilege of watching the graduates seated before you grow and progress towards this celebration tonight. That journey has not always been smooth. There have been successes and setbacks, moments of pride and moments of challenge. But my hope is that beyond the grades, the transcripts, and the GPA, you leave this school better for the experience. I hope you leave here willing to live by the values we have tried to instill at BIS. Be brave enough to do the right thing, even when the wrong choice may seem easier. Be strong enough to persevere when faced with challenges, rather than placing them in the too hard basket and just giving up. Be kind, treating others with respect and in the same way that you yourself would like to be treated. And above all, be yourself. Have the confidence to stand confidently in who you are, while also having the grace to allow others to do the same. Because if you can do those things, then maybe, just maybe, the world might become a slightly better place because you are in it. Class of 2026, we started our journey together over 3 years ago, and it ends here tonight in this fabulous setting, surrounded by your friends and family members. We celebrate your achievements and your future, and we wish you every success in the journey ahead. Congratulations, graduates. I'd now like to call upon the Director of BIS, Mr. Kevin Fulbrook, to come and give his introductory remarks.
Good evening, distinguished guests, board members, parents, family, faculty, staff, and most importantly, the graduating class of 2026. Tonight is a celebration of achievement, growth, resilience, and possibility. Graduation ceremonies are always special, but this one is especially meaningful. Over the past weeks and months, our community has navigated uncertainty and disruption, as regional conflict forced schools across Kuwait to adapt quickly and return to online learning. Yet even during those challenges, this graduating class continued to demonstrate determination, maturity, and character. You adjusted, you persevered, you supported one another, and you kept moving forward. And that resilience says far more about you than any transcript, exam score, or university acceptance letter ever could. To our seniors, tonight marks the end of one chapter, but also the beginning of another. Many of you arrived at Al-Bayan International School as children, uncertain of who you were or where life might take you. Today, you leave as young adults with greater confidence, stronger voices, deeper understanding, and the ability to make a meaningful impact on the world around you. Along the way, there have been countless moments that brought us pride. Academic success, artistic performances, athletic achievements, acts of kindness, leadership shown quietly behind the scenes, friendships formed across cultures, and the way you consistently supported each other as a community. I also want to acknowledge the families, teachers, counsellors, and staff members who walked beside you throughout this journey. Behind every graduate seated here tonight is a network of people who believed in you, who encouraged you, challenged you, and cared deeply about your success. I would also like to acknowledge the extremely generous support of Iqbal and Nasrallah and the entire Baybahani family, whose commitment to inclusive education at BIS over many years has contributed in no small way to the successes we are celebrating here tonight. On behalf of the entire BIS community, words cannot express our appreciation. Thank you. Finally, graduates, as you move into the next phase of your lives, remember this: the world does not simply need intelligent people. It needs compassionate people, curious people, ethical people, adaptable people, people willing to lead with empathy and courage, especially during uncertain times. And based on what we have seen from you over these past years, and especially these past months, I truly believe you are ready. On behalf of the entire Al-Bayan International School community, congratulations, class of 2026. We are proud of you, we believe in you, and we cannot wait to see what comes next. Thank you.
So, it gives me great pleasure to call on Muhammad Al-Ibrahim to deliver the senior speech in Arabic. Give him a big round of applause.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على أشرف خلق الله سيد المرسلين ومن والاه. السيد مدير مدرسة البيان الدولية، أعضاء الهيئة الكرام، زملاء الخريجين والخريجات، في هذا اليوم المميز نقف على أعتاب مرحلة جديدة من حياتنا بعد سنوات من الجد والاجتهاد في رحاب مدرسة البيان الدولية التي كانت لنا بيتاً ثانياً وبيئة علمتنا العلم والقيم والأخلاق. لقد كانت رحلتنا مليئة بالتحديات والنجاحات، باللحظات الصعبة والذكريات الجميلة التي ستبقى راسخة في قلوبنا، تعلمنا أن الطموح لا حدود له، وأن العمل الجاد هو طريق لتحقيق الأحلام. نقف اليوم ونحن نحمل ثمرة تعبنا وننظر إلى المستقبل بثقة وأمل، فوطننا الغالي الكويت ينتظر منا أن نكون شباباً واعياً مبدعاً ومساهماً في بنائه وتقدمه. ولا يسعنا إلا أن نتقدم بجزيل الشكر والامتنان إلى معلمين الأفاضل الذين بذلوا جهوداً عظيماً في تعليمنا وتوجيهنا، وإلى أهلنا الكرام الذين كانوا الداعم الأول لنا قد تنتهي أيام الدراسة، ولكن ذكرياتنا وصداقتنا ستبقى خالدة. فلنمضي قدما نحو أحلامنا، ولنكن دائما على قدر المسؤولية حريصين على تقدم وطننا ورفعته. وفي الختام نسأل الله أن يوفقنا جميعا لما فيه الخير، وأن يجعل هذا التخرج بداية طريق مليء بالنجاح والإنجاز. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Now it gives me great pleasure to call upon Nadia Al-Hawally to come and give us the senior speech in English.
Hello? Okay. Hello, everyone, and thank you for attending our graduation. With everything going on around us, it felt uncertain whether we would get a moment like this or not. So thank you, all of you, for coming here tonight. I think for a lot of us, what we'll remember most isn't just the big moments, but the small ones too. The transition periods where we bump into classmates and friends while walking, and sitting on the benches while doing work and talking to whoever walked past. The little routines we didn't think much of at the time. In my first year of high school, I didn't think I'd miss school. But now that I'm about to leave, I want to delay it as much as possible. But I won't miss any of the projects, assignments, or homeworks, or exams. Alhamdulillah. But what I'll really miss is the people that I made friends with. And even if some of those days felt stressful, I think one day we'll look back and you might catch yourself thinking and realize, who knew the hard times were the good old days? Now we're here standing on our graduation day, taking our first steps into our future lives. It's exciting, but also a little scary. So all you can really do is hold on to hope if you've got it and keep moving forward. Maybe years from now, we'll find ourselves wondering, how did we get here? And the answer will be through all the late nights of effort, dedication, and everything we went through to reach this point. For now, all we can really do is look ahead. So just think of your future and think of your dreams. But before I take a step ahead, there are a few people I'd like to thank. First, my mom, Intisar, over there. For being there to support me and being the person who got me here in the first place. Second, I'd like to thank my family, especially my brothers, Isa, Nasser, and Aziz over there in the crowd, for always sticking by my side. I'd also like to thank my friends for being there, especially Fatma, who helped edit the speech, and Ahlam for always being there when I needed someone to vent to. I'd also like to thank all of my teachers, for they're the ones who got me here. But I'd specifically like to thank Mr. Adi for creating a classroom environment that helped me forget about any of my worries. And lastly, I'd like to thank my dad, Baba Faisal, for always being there for me, even though he's not here with us anymore. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Okay, thank you very much to our two senior speakers for doing such a fantastic job. We now come to the introduction of our guest speaker today, and we consider ourselves very fortunate to be introducing Mr. Abdullah Jihad Al-Mutawa. Mr. Abdullah is a homegrown Kuwaiti entrepreneur who leads the Taken Seat, a venture builder backing and building startups across the region. Earlier in his career, he founded Carriage, the food delivery company which he exited to Delivery Hero. Today, his work is focused on helping the next generation of founders get off the ground, which is exactly why we asked him to speak to you. Please welcome him as our graduates prepare to take their next steps into the future. We are truly privileged to have someone whose work and achievements continue to inspire young people across Kuwait and beyond. Please join me in warmly welcoming Mr. Abdullah Jihad Al-Mutawa.
Assalamu alaikum. Class of 2026, congratulations. You are the first graduating class of BIS, which means whatever you do from here, you set the standard. No pressure. Before I start, I want to be honest about something. Standing up here, looking at all of you in caps and gowns, I had to ask myself, what could I possibly say in 7 minutes that you'd actually remember tomorrow? Because let's be real, you're not going to remember this speech. You probably won't remember most of your teachers' names in 10 years. Sorry about that, teachers. What you're going to remember is whatever feeling you walk out of this room with. So I'm going to skip the part where I tell you to follow your dreams and chase the stars and all of that. I mean, you've heard it. Your parents have said it. Instagram and TikTok have probably said that too. Let me tell you something a bit more useful. Let me tell you about the worst decision I ever made, or maybe the best one, depending on who you ask at that time. Years ago, I had a perfectly good job working as an engineer in the oil and gas sector. Stable, respectable. The kind of job that in Kuwait makes your parents proud in the Duaniyas and Zwarat. You know the type. And I quit it. I quit it to open a restaurant. Yes, a restaurant. That was the plan. I was going to be a restaurateur. I had it all figured out. The concept, the menu, the vibe. I was 24 and absolutely certain I knew what I was doing. Now, my family is traditional. Wonderful, loving, but traditional. When I told them, the reaction was not exactly a standing ovation. My parents started calling people, uncles, family friends, anyone they thought might have influence over me, to talk some sense into this clearly a malfunctioning kid of theirs. Talk to him. Talk some sense into him. Tell him to stay at his job. And I get it. From where they were sitting, it looked insane. Because in Kuwait, at that time, you didn't do that. You got a job, you kept the job, you retired from the job. That was the script. I tore up the script. And then, the restaurant failed. Let me say that again, because I wanted to sit with you for a second. The thing I left my stable job for, the thing I disagreed with my family about, the thing I bet everything on, it did not work. If this was a movie, this is the part where the music gets sad and someone walks slowly out in the rain. And that's roughly how I felt, honestly. But here's what happened next. And this is the part I really want you guys to focus on. While I was running that restaurant, while it was on its way to failing, I kept noticing the same problems over and over. Customers wanted food delivered. There was no good way to get it to them. The whole system was broken. Phone calls, missed orders, cold food, not knowing where the drivers were. I was close to that problem that I could not notice it. And I only got that close because the restaurant failed first. So I took that very specific, very painful lesson, and I started Carriage. A year later, I exited Carriage to Delivery Hero. At that time, it was one of the biggest exits in the region. It's still talked about today. And my family, who had spent months worrying about that, they were ecstatic because the thing I cared about, was finally working. That's what they had wanted the whole time. They just didn't know it was going to take a failed restaurant for me to get there. Now, I honestly am not telling you this to brag. I'm telling you this because I want you to notice something. To get to Carriage, I had to fail a restaurant before. To know what to build, I had to build the wrong thing. And then I had to build the right thing from scratch. The team, the tech, the operations, every single brick by brick, slowly, painfully, expensively. That whole loop, the failed restaurant, the lessons, the rebuild, it took many years of my life. And here's the part I really want you to hear. If I were doing all of that today in 2026, that loop would not take years. It would take months, maybe even weeks. Because the world you are graduating into, it's not the world I graduated into, not even close. You are graduating at the most absurd, unfair, generous moment in the history of entrepreneurship. And I mean unfair in your favor. The things that used to stop people like me, for example, not enough money, not enough engineers, not enough time, not knowing how to code, not knowing how to design, not knowing how to write a business plan, not knowing how to do the legal stuff, most of these walls have been torn down. AI torn them down. Today, one of you guys in his bedroom, and I keep knocking off the water, with a laptop and a free afternoon, can build something that 10 years ago would have required a team of 15 people and more than $500,000 to do. That's not an exaggeration. It's true. Today, you can prototype a product before lunch. You can write code without knowing how to code. You can launch a brand without hiring a designer. You can analyze a market without hiring a consultant. And you can do a work of an entire small company by yourself, if you are clever and patient and curious enough to figure out how to use these tools properly. The last part here is the catch. If you use them properly, because AI does not make you smart. It makes smart people faster, and it makes lazy people very confidently wrong. Choose which one you want to be. So here is what I want from you, all of you guys. First class of BIS, please listen carefully. Don't wait. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for the perfect idea. Don't wait until you finish university. Don't wait until you have a co-founder. Don't wait until you feel ready. You won't. Nobody does. The people you admire didn't really feel either. They just started before that feeling showed up. Start something, anything, a small thing. I think that doesn't work. I think that embarrasses you a little because the cost of trying has never, ever been this low. And the cost of not trying has never been this high because while you're waiting, someone else is building. And when people around you tell you it's too risky or it's not the right time or you should get a real job first, and they will, remember that they're saying it because they love you, not because they're right. The people who worried about me the most were the people who were happiest for me in the end. That's not a contradiction. That's just love wearing a worried face. Class of 2026, you are the first graduates of BIS. You're the prototype. You're the proof. Everything that comes after you will be measured against what you do next. Make it interesting. Congratulations. Now go build something. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very interesting words and much appreciated. Thank you. Okay, so now we are coming to the point that really we've all been waiting for, which is actually, forgive me, there's one thing first. First of all, we're going to have the slideshow for graduates and the BIS staff. So we'll enjoy our slideshow.
يا هلا بالحلم وينك من زمان، يا حالاتك وانت متحقق بدي، كان ما بيني وبينك امتحان، هانت ظروفه وعدى كل شيء، عدى كل شيء. يا هلا بالحلم وينك من زمان، يا حالاتك وانت متحقق بدي، كان ما بيني وبينك امتحان، هانت ظروفه وعدى كل شيء، عدى كل شيء. من نويتك وانت في بالي هدف، والسعي لك عمره ما يوم وقف، في حياتي ما تعودت صدف، ما يخيب اصرار نابع من شغف. من نويتك وانت في بالي هدف، والسعي لك عمره ما يوم وقف، في حياتي ما تعودت الصدف، ما يخيب اصرار نابع من شغف. معدني بظروفي الصعبة يبان، جوهري في داخلي له نبض حي، قصتي بافعالي يكتبها الزمان، كان يا ما كان بإصرار قوي، بإصرار قوي. معدني بظروفي الصعبة يبان، جوهري في داخلي له نبض حي، قصتي بافعالي يكتبها الزمان، كان يا ما كان بإصرار قوي، بإصرار قوي. من نويتك وانت في بالي هدف، والسعي لك عمره ما يوم وقف، في حياتي ما تعودت الصدف، ما يخيب اصرار نابع من شغف. من نويتك وانت في بالي هدف، والسعي لك عمره ما يوم وقف، في حياتي ما تعودت الصدف، ما يخيب اصرار نابع من شغف. 26 مهما تكونين، بنزرع أيام جمل ونحصد سنين، بنرسم البسمة وطن كل وقت وكل حين، خريجنا أكبر مثل خطط وحاول ووصل، وبكل فخر بينذكر ب26 26 مهما تكونين، نزرع أيام جمل ونحصد سنين، نحصد سنين، البسمة وطن كل وقت وكل حين. خريجنا يا فرحته، إنجاز ينور سيرته، وبالأخص دفعته 26.
So, this is the moment we've all been waiting for, which is, of course, the presentation of the diplomas to our graduating seniors. And to assist us in this task, we'd like to call upon 3 of our guests of honor. First of all, we'd like to give a very warm welcome to Mr. Tariq Al-Samarai, who is the CEO of Fawzik Holding Company and a board member of Fawzik Educational Company. Mr. Tariq has been involved with BIS for a very, very long time, and we're always very grateful for his support in all that we do. Most recently, his role is one of parent, as Faisal, his own son, is up here graduating. So, Mr. Tariq, can we welcome you onto the stage to help us to present those graduation certificates? We'd also like to welcome back onto the stage Mr. Abdullah Jihad Al-Mutawa. If you wouldn't mind coming and joining us so we can present the certificates, that would be lovely. And Mr. Kevin Fulbrook, our director.
عبد اللطيف عبد الله حمد الهولي. عبد العزيز عماد ابراهيم محمد. عبد العزيز محمد عبد الكريم الرباح. عبد الله حامد عبد الرضا حسن. الياسين خالد غلوم محمد أشكناني. إدواردو جنتينارو. فهد جميل زهير بيضون. فيصل طارق صباح السامي الراعي. حصة عبد العزيز مساعد القذيفي. خالد ياسر إبراهيم المزروعي. خالد بدر خالد الزمامي. محمد أحمد عباس العبد الله. محمد أحمد عبد اللطيف الإبراهيم. نادية فيصل عبد العزيز أسد العوضي. ركان مشعل مزيد المزيد. صالح محمد عبد الباري العليان. سعود نواف عبد الأمير علي.
Just while we've got Mr. Abdullah here on the stage, we'd like to take the opportunity just to give him a little memento for his time here at BIS graduation. So I'm going to call on Mr. Kevin Fulbrook to give him a token of our appreciation for his fantastic speech and giving up his time to be here. Can you give him a big clap, please? Okay, so that almost brings us to the end of our ceremony. We do have just a couple other things that we need to do. So first of all, we just want to make you aware that we do have refreshments out in the foyer, and we hope that you'll be able to join us so that we can have a little bit of a chat and catch up with everybody. That would be lovely. Unfortunately, we can't bring the food and drink in here, so we just ask people if they wouldn't mind having their refreshments out in the foyer. That would be brilliant. We also just want to recognize the mother of Hessa Al-Qaddafi. Basically, she has been very kind to sponsor an instant photo station, which is at the front here, which anyone is welcome to use. So thank you very much to her. We'd also like to say thank you to the parents of Saud Ali for giving us the Sarai perfume station that many of you will notice on the way in. If we could give them a clap and just say thank you as well. At the back of the auditorium, you're going to find a setup, a backdrop that you may want to take photos with your students, our seniors. It's all set up for graduation at BIS, so we hope you'll take advantage of that, and hopefully you'll have some wonderful memories. So the two tasks that we need just to finish off now, in a second, I'm going to ask our seniors to stand up. Those who are wearing the mortarboards, we're going to ask them to move their tassels from the right to the left. We'll give them a countdown of 3, so if you want to take photos. And that just signifies that they are no longer students at BIS, but have become graduates of BIS. So, seniors, would you mind standing up, please? And for those of you who've got them, on the count of 3, 3, 2, 1, move your tassels across. Let's give them a clap. Now, what we're going to do now, for health and safety reasons, those mortarboards have very sharp edges, so we're not going to throw them in the air, but we are going to give a countdown and get the kids to wave them. So if you want to take photos, again, now's your opportunity. On the count of 3, 2, 1, give it a wave. Thank you.
فرح بنفرح اليوم وياكم هذا تخرجكم شلون ننساكم هالفرحة لا ما تمر إلا ونحييها من عند نغلة منكم من هو اللي يسواكم اليوم كل كويت فيكم بتتفاخر وشلون ما تفخر وانتو أمل باكر فرحوا بهذا اليوم يا زين هالفرحة ما عاش منها واللي يكسر لكم خاطر.
So, you guys have been a fantastic audience. So can you give yourselves a clap and a cheer? Thank you very much for all your support. What we're going to do just to finish our ceremony, the students, the graduates are going to lead off and they're going to have their procession back up the middle. So if you could just help us out for one last time, if you could give us all your energy to give them a cheer, give them a shout as they lead away. If we could have the music. Miss Latif.
لكن بنذكرها وبتبقى فينا دوم من هذه اللحظة بنكمل المشوار لأجل الكويت اللي بإذن الله فينا تدور. تخرجنا وبنبني ديرتنا
ما حد أبد طول الأبد ينسى يوم انولد لأحلامه الميعاد ومن جد وجد مهما التعب يقسى يوم التخرج للفرح ميلاد ما حد أبد طول الأبد ينسى يوم انولد لأحلامه الميعاد ومن جد وجد مهما التعب يقسى يوم التخرج للفرح ميلاد طال الحنين طول السنين للمجد والأحلام للمجد والأحلام بذلنا سباب وداب التعب وتحققت هالعام وتحققت هالعام الحنين طول السنين للمجد والأحلام للمجد والأحلام بذلنا سباب وداب التعب وتحققت هالعام وتحققت هالعام يلا كملوا المشوار بالهمة والإصرار ونشوفكم بكرة بين النجوم كبار الأبد طول الأبد ينسى يوم انولد لأحلامه الميعاد من جد وجد مهما التعب يقسى يوم التخرج للفرح ميلاد العطاء نزرع خطى تكبر مع الأيام تكبر مع الأيام ولأجل الكويت ومجد الكويت حققنا أعلى أرقام حققنا أعلى أرقام لأجل العطاء نزرع خطى تكبر مع الأيام تكبر مع الأيام ولأجل الكويت ومجد الكويت حققنا أعلى أرقام حققنا أعلى أرقام بنجاحكم إنجاز فاز المثابر فاز ما أروع الصورة يوم الفرح برواز أبد طول الأبد ينسى يوم انولد لأحلام اكتمل فيكم امل تفخر بكم الأوطان، ناجح وصال وصحب وهاب